do.
Don't mess up.
Don't mess up. We're live.
See, you're checking connection.
Yeah, we're now live. Cool.
that was easy.
All right, now we're going.
Cheers.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? This is Dash Wong. This is another series of SOF VanaVlog. Here we have our guest.
Robert Lafrance. What's up, everybody?
And thank you for being on our show.
Thanks for having me. Super grateful.
So, Robert's actually our first interview.
Yeah. Oh, am I?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm grateful. Super. Oh, yeah, look at this. I love this view from up there. You see the smooth microphone.
It's almost like we're in the Matrix. So we're on Instagram Live and we're on Facebook Live. So we're getting live updates. We see everyone watching. We're getting live comments, and it's going to be super fun.
Yeah.
So first off, again, welcome to the show. Super stoked to have you here. But I got to ask you your opinion. You're sitting in a 1969 Volkswagen bus turned into a professional studio. What are your thoughts?
Man, this is nice. This is nice. I was actually looking at getting one of these for a while, and my dad was like, "Man, you like to drive a little bit fast. These things cruise, you know, like this might not be for you." And I was like, "No, but I've always loved these things. I love the idea of them, and I love how like people go live in the van and travel around to like national parks and like see the beauty and stuff like that. Go to skydiving boogies. Yeah, I love these things, and this is done well.
If you had to define what a hippie was, what would be your ultimate definition?
It's funny that you asked that because I just thought of this like yesterday. I think I was thinking of what we commonly think of as a hippie. You know, it's like, you know, dope smoking, loving, you know, person or whatever. But I feel like today, because I would call myself a hippie, and I don't fall under that time frame or category.
Yeah.
I think it would just be someone who generally follows their heart and seeks happiness, no matter what that is, and accepting of their own and other people's happiness.
Did we just become best friends?
I think so. You want to practice karate in the garage?
I think I just became a hippie.
Oh yeah.
So
jump on board.
So as you guys know, SOF VanaVlog, this is my series, and my series is all about veterans transitioning out of the military and finding people who've already done the jump or the leap of faith, got out, and started a career of their own. And so after getting to meet Robert, we talked a little bit about his career choices and his transition out. And I was super motivated by what he told me. We shared a lot of core motivational values that I liked about him and that he's going to share. So I guess in order to kick this off, let's just hear a little bit about your military career and where it all started.
Oh yeah, man, absolutely. And thanks for saying all that too, because like we were actually just talking about how easy this afternoon was planning this thing, and they was like, "Oh, you want to do it tonight?" And then here we are, boom, and it was just right there. So definitely the same page. As far as my background, where I came from, I joined the Navy. I enlisted as a Navy diver, which was super cool. I joined the Navy as a Navy diver because I was going to welding school, and I was like, "Oh, I'm going to learn how to underwater weld, and I'm just going to do it in the Navy and like travel and do it that way, get the experience." And then I went through the dive school program, went to Groton, did submarine escape, which was really cool. In all technicality, no matter how I looked at it back then, we were breaking the rules of the dive manual every day, like traveling 625 feet per minute to the surface from 45 feet on a regular basis in a controlled environment. It was like skydiving underwater because buoyancy is just taking you up. It's super cool. And did the stuff there, and then I went to Little Creek at the Mobile Diving Salvage Unit 2. And that was, you know, that's what it was. And then, you know, did one deployment, and then I was like, you know, I got out. You know, I was like, it's not the model that I want to follow. You know? A lot of good times, a lot of great experiences, definitely pushing the limits and stuff like that. You know, I'm sure people have an opinion on me. I know people have an opinion on me, but it was definitely a good time. I took a lot from it, and I've applied all good and bad experiences from my time in to what I'm doing now. And sometimes that's like a big motivation,
Awesome.
or a lot of times actually.
Heck yeah. Well, that was a very quick, long career summary. I mean, if you think about the amount of years, was it 7 years?
Yeah, I did 7 years.
Oh, and then we've transcribed into the next phase of your life. So there had to be some type of defining moment where you're just like, you know what, this isn't it. I need to go do something. What was that? When
I realized that my success or failure wasn't solely on myself, I think that was the biggest thing. You know, like. As divers, we're like team operated, you know, and then you also have like the chain of command, and you know, oftentimes they can work well together, and oftentimes they don't. I think we all have had our share of like positive and negative experiences of chain of command, and you know, as long as we're taking accountability of what we of our wrongs as well. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely deserve some of like the bad experiences that I had, but then, but I think, where was I going? I rambled.
Yeah. How did you
Okay,
make
so
that
yeah,
decision ultimately?
yeah. So I realized that despite my efforts, sometimes or most times, it was out of my control, and it was really important. I don't like being punished for someone else's actions. Like one time we were off the coast diving, doing some training, and someone else from a different command got their jaw broken, and then the skipper was like, okay, anybody attached to this command isn't allowed to drink, and we're like, yeah, we're out at sea, like we don't even have, we've been out at sea for 2 weeks, like we want to go enjoy this place that we're going to go in, so, and then like other things, but I'm really about everything being on me, like as far as my own success and responsibilities, taking care of myself, and then being able to flourish that way, and so far it's worked out for me.
Yeah, that's a huge. I mean, that's a really good topic to talk about, and that's accountability.
Yeah,
it's the ability to take on ownership of anything that happens in your life. I mean, I reflect back on it on just happiness in general. It's and I think that kind of goes into what you were saying, but like happiness is no one else's responsibility except your own. And in order to be happy, you have to accept responsibility for your actions.
Yeah,
and so I can totally relate to that. So. You had
got real. Sorry.
Woo! So
I'm a veteran.
I'm almost a veteran.
Oh yeah.
But so boom, you made the leap. You're like, you know what? This isn't for me. I'm gonna get out. And what happened next? We're talking TAPS. We're talking.
Oh wow. Okay. So that year, my last year, I remember I was on deployment. I gave up my number for what I think was, I remember it was like perform to serve or something like that. Divers had a quota or whatever, and you had a number, and you had to let your counselor know if you were going to re-enlist or not, because they would give your seat or number to somebody else who wanted to stay in or could acquire someone else. So I was in Belize. Yeah, I was in Belize, and I was like, yo, give me my number away. And then I came back from deployment, started the process, TAPS. I discovered that I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. And as we were going through TAPS, you could either, you could make a plan. That was the biggest thing, is identifying strengths and making a plan, no matter what it was. And they give you different formats and like templates to do so. I was looking at becoming like a wedding photographer or some type of photographer. So I'm like, okay, entrepreneur, business plan, boom. And then I was looking at thinking about opening up a bike shop, welding, but after interning to someone who's on TV, and so I really wanted to be Jesse James and do whisk and like choppers, the custom bikes like that when I was in welding school. So that's why I was like, maybe I'll just intern or something. So I made multiple plans, and then you pretty much just cycle through. I found that once I filtered through how I wanted to live my life, the income potential I wanted to do, what's going to get me there, it left a few things. In which case I was a full-time student after I got out, but even before then, I found out I was going to have a baby the last year that I was getting out of the military. And, some people, I take it, I was like, all right, cool. I was all about the process. I loved it. I'm so proud of being a father and everything like that. Following getting out of the Navy, being a brand new father, I was also a full-time student. And then working on my real estate license. As I was going through school, I was getting my real estate license. Took me a few times to get my real estate license. I definitely think it's a great idea to get it. Then I got into real estate, started doing some real estate investing and stuff like that. And then I found a gap where when buyers need to set up services, or I was presented an opportunity from another investor from Trig here, Tidewater Real Estate Investors Group. He reached out to me. He said, hey, you can get paid off bills. And I was like, okay, how do I do that? I have rental properties.
Wait, did you say paid off of bills?
Yeah. So we all use gas and internet, and some people use security, cable bundles and all that kind of stuff. So so I looked at it from the real estate perspective, is that buyers need to set up their services when they buy a house. I can continue working with them. They can feed children every time they pay a bill, and they also get a better deal because they're purchasing services wholesale. So it's like I bridge the gap between, hey, how do I turn on my power, or what are some good services in the area? I continue to work with them. They get the deal of the services, getting more affordable services. They feed hungry kids, and I continue to work with them after the closing. And then I also found that everybody uses these services. Not everybody's looking to buy. Not everybody's looking to sell. Some people want to live in a van and travel across the country.
Guilty.
Do you know what I mean? You're selling your house to do that.
Yeah.
And,
but I'm still using services. I mean, I can see that as a great avenue.
Yeah.
Because I'm turning my cell phone on, like you said. I mean, I'm filling.
We're doing this on our cell phones. You know what I mean? Like,
even though it looks super crisp, super clean, I know you guys are wondering, like, man, this audio is just bar none. Like, where's the mic?
we'll see. We'll see how it is on mine. I don't know. This is like first time.
Well, yours is gonna be better because it's closer.
Oh yeah.
But I do have the iPhone 10. So.
You got the wide view. It's good. Oh! Don't bounce. Don't bounce.
Well, that's Red. Thanks for sharing all that. The one of the questions I got was, hey, you decided to get out, you got out, you went to college, you did all this, and then you had your first interview.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, guys like me, I've done a bunch of interviews, but I never really knew. My interviews weren't really catered to like what I was trying to get. I was like, I just need a job.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what was your first? Like, can you explain like even just walking into the interview and like what was going through your mind?
So I learned. So when I went to the program on negotiation at Harvard, I learned.
Wait a minute, I gotta stop you there. Harvard?
Yeah, the GI Bill. Thanks, GI Bill.
Harvard.
Yeah, they have a program on
I'm
negotiation.
sitting next to a guy from Harvard right now. Just don't, I do all my cancer treatments at Duke, so I consider myself a fellow of Duke. Super educated. Sometimes I see mathematical problems on a board, like just walking by, and I just solve them.
Oh wow, you're Rain Man.
Just I don't know. I don't know. It's just a talent.
No.
Harvard?
No, what's his name? Yeah.
You just took this to the next level.
So I was like, oh, program on negotiation, dealing with difficult like topics of conversation, real estate, like that would be good. You know, going to negotiation workshops, and one of the biggest things I took from this is just preparation and planning, like. From the 100-foot view to the 10,000-foot view, the more you prepare, the better you're going to be. And that's with anything, really. And so with the interviews, I recommend is you prepare, blow everything out. And you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. And when I first started job seeking, you forget that, or that's what I thought. I was like, oh, I need to kind of meet whatever they're looking for. And that's not always the case because, especially today, things are changing. They want you for you. And it's all about being a servant leader and having a great team that's happy and being themselves and heard of. So you are interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you, and it's important to be honest with yourself and what you're looking for and your goals are when doing that, and that'll just make the interview process, as important as they are, less stressful.
That's huge for me.
Yeah.
I always get terrified of like, what's this person gonna think, or how I need to cater my resume, or like, how I need to pick my words, and then I do a bunch of research, kind of like we do when we hit targets. Mm-hmm. It's like we do a bunch of research, we do like ground analysis, we do like history on what their culture is like. I do the same thing for interviews. I'm like, okay, what's this company about? Yeah. What are their employees? I start tagging them on LinkedIn, and then I go in for the interview, and I realize none of that mattered. Mm-hmm. It's like they just, like you just said, they're just looking for real people.
Yeah, and you can. I mean, man, you can. It all just depends on what you want and how you want to live your life. You can work for an outdoors company and write articles for them. And
if you're hiring, I'm looking for a job.
Yeah, man, there's all kinds of sites out there that like do that. And then whether you want to do real estate or have an online business, whether it's a t-shirt or anything else, there's just so many opportunities the way to put you on it, and you got it. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like when people are getting out of the military, when you're in the military, it's important to be humble, right? Humble and that whole thing, especially because like one bad apple ruins the bunch kind of thing. So you're always like, you can see an article real quick if someone does something wrong. So when you get out, it's important it's like not so much on being humble and like withholding who you are, but like just being confident in who you are and knowing what like value you can bring into any situation, because a lot of people view us as doing something really good and important, and we put our time in, whether or not you think you did or what reasons you did it for. There's a lot of respect, and like, whoa, you did things that I could never do, man. So it's just important to kind of know what tools you have moving forward, and use that as confidence, knowing that a lot of people respect you. I don't know.
It's deep, bro. How would you say that your military background helped build you up?
Oh wow!
Where you're at now?
Well, because learning how to communicate, both good and bad ways.
Sitting on.
Oh, bottle cap.
No, I'm sitting on a Christmas ornament. Bro.
Oh man,
that's a Chinese torture device.
No, you're good.
Damien, cut.
Here's the hand.
And we're back in. welcome back.
All right.
That's one thing you can't do when you're on live. There's no cutting. It's all raw. It's all live. And
Raw and uncut.
raw and uncut.
What?
Dude, we've got a lot of viewers right now. I don't know if you know that.
I can't even see.
Their chain off there is going crazy. Great posting, bro. Keep it going. There's a bunch of good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate you.
So we were talking about how your military career helped you, or still helps you to this day, like how it built you up into where you're at now. Or do you just take your career and you're like, no, that was the past, and now I'm at where I'm at now?
No, I'm definitely not. Well, so a little bit of both. I would say, so all that stuff, you know, I learned like communication, you know, all that stuff helped me grow. You know, all the bad experiences, whether I liked them or not, whether they were my fault or not, they helped me grow. And then all the same as the good ones, you know what I mean? So learning how to communicate, sometimes communicating effectively, knowing how to work with other people, knowing how to work with people you don't like and you don't even like to talk to, you know what I mean? Like when you get out of that element and you start working with other people that see the same way as you, it's like such a weight off your shoulders. It's like a relief in your chest of like being able to feel good about the people that you work with. You know, that's just, you know, sometimes in that particular scenario. You know, the hard work, you know, I've been through worse, you know, whether it's in cold water or, you know, in a you know, trying scenario, or like, hey, you want to hear a good story? One time we were out at sea and we're pulling up dive gear and it's raining sideways and the ship's going sideways, you know, and we're pulling up a 14-foot ladder, 12 dudes, you know, pulling it up, and, you know, all that stuff is like good to, you just use all that stuff to move forward. So I definitely encompass it. And then sometimes it drives me, like, sometimes when I reflect on like the negative opinions I've heard about myself, or like how people thought I view, you know, just the negative stuff, sometimes I'm just like, that uses me. So I'm like, man, I don't want to have to see those guys down the road and be like, I'm the asshole that they thought I was or something, you know, or like, so a lot of those negatives I can use as motivation upon myself and not trying to fill that mold outside of just being me, you know, in the way that I do things.
Yeah. What would, so now where you're at now, you're in telecommunication, marketing, and real estate.
Yeah, so, you know, you're not, you know, so I've been out of the Navy since 2015, and I feel like being just over 3-ish years of out of being back into a workforce, full-time student, real estate, started investing, learning all about, trying to become like a subject matter expert in real estate, because purchasing a home is an investment that as buyers we need to know. And having rental properties or investment properties or investing is a pillar of income. So that's why I try to do that at the same time as my real estate. And then it's just all grown into providing services that we all need, which is land or essential services. And it's for both homes and businesses. So it's a good opportunity. All of those are great opportunities to live a flexible schedule and live the life that you want to live. As far as being flexible and your success being on yours and your drive and stuff like that, it can be quite lucrative or it can be just the way you want it. And everything comes at a cost or a price, you know. So it's like some days that I work when I go down to see my daughters that, you know, I don't have a lot of income coming in, but that's time I'm paying or I'm putting so I can be around, like, and really be there. So, and then if you're in a different scenario, you can just move those around to however you want to live. Yeah, so right now, what I really like to talk to people, because since we all use cell phones and pay these bills, it's just an opportunity to save, feed hungry kids, and even get paid off those bills. So, and then I can do real estate with them.
Maybe let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
I want to hear a little bit more about how we feed kids through paying our bills.
Okay, so how it is I'm essentially a franchise owner with the company of ACN, and they are the world's largest direct seller of telecommunications. So what is that? It's home and business services, telephone, cell phone, internet, bundles, and then credit card processing, all the same services we use every day, and then credit card processing for business. We sell services online in 26 countries, just launched in Mexico and Colombia, blowing it up. Like 22,000 people, over 22,000 people became partners within the first 30 days. 100,000 people became customers within the first 3 or 10 days, I can't remember. But it's like starting a Verizon in a country that doesn't have a Verizon. You know, like these companies are franchises, you know, and when you buy a franchise, you're buying a system that works essentially, you know. So that's what they're doing, is they're putting them in these places, and with each customer we acquire and each bill that they pay, a portion goes to Project Feeding Kids, which is feeding hungry kids here in the U.S. and also Canada. And ACN is a big supporter of the Ronald McDonald House. They have the largest Ronald McDonald House in North Carolina, and it's just another way to give our bills purpose while saving on the bills that we have to spend, you know, feeding our kids. And then if there's a business opportunity, just like anything else, and you can earn residuals off of them.
So you can actually make money yourself.
Yeah, you can. It's because you're a network marketer, you know, you're the one, and that's how it works. And it's, the opportunity is incredible.
And what's it called?
The company is ACN, and it's an online business. And the best way to do is attend one of our private business receptions or contact me, and I can introduce it to you. But you can literally work in 26 countries and say, hey, would you like to save money on your cell phone service or credit card processing? And then they either say yeah or nay, but you start with your people. You know, it's all supporting your friends and family's business at this point. Everything's changing for the future. People forget that in China, people don't even know that in China, you can order everything from like face wash to a banana in a catalog in the buildings. Do you know what I mean?
A banana?
Yeah. Like you can order sunblock and clothes in a catalog. You know, they have all types of like, yeah.
I need to go there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they'd dig the bus.
Oh yeah, for sure. You should take this. You should just stay in Long Beach. ACN's having an international event in Long Beach. It's called Next Gen. They just like relaunched and gave a new face to everything. Check it out.
One more thing, if you could give just one token of advice to, say, someone that was in your shoes who just came up with the idea of like, hey, I'm getting out, or someone that was like in my scenario where I'm being medically retired, like I can't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to be launched in the civilian world. I don't know what to do with my life, and I think you can remember what it was like to be in those shoes.
Absolutely.
What would you tell them? What would you tell yourself?
I would say plan. I would say, you know, that's one thing that the military trains in us is plan, or like procedures, or have a system in place to do, whether it's starting up a generator or washing a firearm or exercising something, or in an emergency. It's always have a plan. Find a mentor. Utilize your friends and family, because those who will support you will identify. Like, you'll find the support in your friends and family. Finding a mentor, you know, surrounding yourself by people that you want to be like, or get to the position of, and contact you. You know what I mean? Like, utilize your resources, because people have gone out of the military and have been successful or lived comfortably, and people have failed, and that's what part of this is for, is to help people, to prevent people from failing, you know, showing you that you have another resources opportunity, not just to communicate with us, but, you know, like making your own show out of a Volkswagen bus and traveling the country and like talking to different veterans, or, you know, helping people buy or sell real estate, or help kids get fed when we pay our bills. Do you know what I mean? Like, and earning money off of all those things sometimes, you know, because we got to feed our kids. Yeah. You know, so it's just providing you another resource and avenue for you to really reach out to, you know. And that's what I would do. Even before I got out, when I was looking at switching rates or going to different commands, I would contact them. Hey, what's it like there? You know, what do you suggest? You know, and then that's all you're doing. You're taking the same things that you either been taught or can be taught, because through self-development, as you start being more aware of how responsible you are for your success, because I feel like we all want to be successful no matter what that means to you. Yeah. The biggest thing is like self-development. Never stop growing yourself, and never stop planning and seeing where you can go. Because Jim Rohn said, I'm going to throw a Jim Rohn thing out there, is, you know,
we're going to hashtag you Jim Rohn, so you'll be in this.
You know, like 10 years is going to go by. You know, our lives are going to go by. You got to be doing something anyway. You know what I mean? You're going to be here anyway. Why don't you do the best that you can, you know? And I feel like that's really one thing that I try to position myself for, and other people for, is being like that guy, is to connect people with those who need the other person, whether it's me or you or someone else. Like, just network, you know?
Network. I think that'd be my tidbit of info. It's definitely to the guys that are watching, the guys that are curious about the transition process out, is network, network, network. Don't burn any bridges. Like, I don't care how cool you are, how big you are, how strong you are, how awesome you are. Be humble.
Yeah, Kendrick Lamar, be humble.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it's that little guy that you're gonna piss off, 2 years ago, who's gonna end up getting a really good gig. He's gonna be your supervisor that you're gonna be doing an interview for, and he's gonna be like, "No, you were a dick."
You know how I look at that too. Sometimes is it's good. This is business, and you're trying to see not only in business or life are you trying to see yourself grow and advance, but so is everybody else.
Right.
So if you're there working together, whether you like each other or not, if you can respect the final destination and work together to get there, that's what happens. Net worth is the same thing as network. You build each other up, you help each other become successful together.
Put a TM that.
Yeah, and that's how it works. And then and then communication's key. Like, listen, it's clear that we don't it's clear that we're not on the same page as far as how we communicate, but like, how can we still overcome this project or this hurdle in our project so we can both become successful and make money. Money's not everything, but what you do with that money is really important. So
money is very, very important. I may be a vagabond in a bus, but I still need lots of money. So
money.
With that, I want to thank some of our sponsors. I gotta thank the Supers. The Supers send us awesome products, and their products were derived and developed for a cancer fighter.
Oh.
So he got diagnosed with cancer. His wife wanted to give him healthy alternative food as medicine. And from that, they started their food, the Supers. So they make awesome powders out of ashwagandha roots, and all their food is completely organic, which is a lot of labels can put organic on there, but you can look at their ingredients list, and everything is outsourced organically, which is really awesome. And their powders, their supplements, it just adds to water.
Oh wow!
So like I drink it all day. It's better than taking vitamins because it tastes good, and I get pumped. Like, it really pumps me up. So thank you to your Supers. Thank you for your products. Thank you for your support, and thank you, Robert. Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. Super grateful. I am giving you my consent to DM me, slide through the DMs, and utilize me as a resource. Seriously, from going to school and then other life experiences, I've really learned to help plan. So utilize me as a tool and a resource to help you become successful. And because that's what I'm here for. I want to see you win.
Nice. Robert Lafrance. This is Dash One. This is another episode of SOF VanaVlog. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you guys got comments, put them down below. Add a timestamp on there so we can see what you guys really liked or what you wanted us to elaborate more on. Not more on, but more of. So,
go skydiving.
Go skydiving. Go jumping. I can't jump anymore, but I'll be paramotoring around you.
Go to iFly.
Don't hit me.
Beach. Any iFly.
Ooh, there we go. See, this guy knows what's going on. But thanks for enjoying the show. Hope you guys liked it. Look forward to staying tuned. And if you're local in the area, you want to be on the show, you want to be in the bus, how cool is it?
Absolutely. This is super cool. Super cool.
Yeah.
We can party up in here.
So give me a ring, DM me, DM Robert.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time.
Veterans, real estate, success. Let's get it. Peace!